like this is called the Pesky Report. Like,
welcome back to the Pesky Report, episode 583, presented by Beyond the Monster. I'm Jordan, joined by Jack and Brian. Boys, how we doing? We bad. Yeah, same. That was not a fun. I mean, it was a fun game for a little bit, and then
it really wasn't very quick.
Yeah, in the blink of an eye, it was no longer fun. I think this is the second weekend series of the season that we technically aren't fully recapping because of a rainout, if I'm not mistaken. I think
just the Tampa one.
Right. The Tampa series now has a doubleheader in July? Yeah. So we get a brief little 2-gamer. I don't know. Do you guys actually want to do that roster build thing? I think that might take a while to
yeah, that might be a bit
to construct. It sounded like a fun idea, and then I was like, "Oh my god!"
Like on the Patreon.
Yeah, that can be on the Patreon. That can go up if you're following the Pesky Report on LinkedIn. It'll be on there. Be on the LinkedIn. But yeah, a little 2-gamer. So this should be fairly quick, which means it'll be an hour and a half episode, as it so often is the case. Red Sox and the Yankees, second series between these two teams of the season. Before we actually get into this recap, reminder that this episode is also brought to you by TJ Stats, advanced MLB stats and tools, including pitcher summaries, prospect rankings, and live pitch data. Head on over to tjstats.ca and use code PESKY for 25% off your first month. You get to look at the nice little chart for Justin Slayton today. It'll be just beautiful, I'm sure. But before we get into the game that's going to crush our spirits, let's talk about game 1 of this set. Sonny Gray took the mound against the Yankees in hostile territory. They absolutely despise that man in the Bronx, and yeah, he did all right. Jack, what are your thoughts on Sonny Gray's start?
Yeah, he was fine. He was good enough to win, and he did. He gave them some length. I think they had a relatively quick hook with him, but I get it against that lineup, even without Judge, and in a place where, he is not exactly beloved. I'm fine with that decision from Tracy. And he pitched well enough to win. Yeah, he got around, scattered hits. He didn't really strike out a bunch of guys, but that's generally not who Sonny Gray is anyways. But he pitched well. He kept them in the game, and they won the game. Friday was a much more enjoyable baseball game to watch. And, if this is like a meh Sonny Gray start, that's a pretty good starter, which is why you went out and got this guy. And why he's going to be a hot commodity at the deadline, because you're bad.
It's very frustrating because you look at all these offseason moves that they did make and the moves that they didn't make in the offseason. You could say that objectively, Craig Breslow had a really good offseason outside of the Durbin IKF situation there. But overall, his moves have largely worked out, and Sonny Gray is at the top of not the top because Wilson Contreras holds that place with a stranglehold, but Sonny Gray was great, I thought, in this outing. He's been fantastic over the course of the season, except for 2 or 3 starts. Can you guys hear that? Okay. Yeah. I wasn't sure if it was just me. It was my head was starting to spin. Remember back in, 2020 when Rob Manfred was announcing the Dodgers as champions? And there was this, he sounded like he was drunk. I'm on the brink of getting there because the sound in my ears is so distracting. I don't know if it's me. But Brian, what were your thoughts on Sonny Gray in this start?
I thought it was nice. I mean, I thought when he came back from his injury, usually those guys, it's kind of, they have a good start and a bad start, and then they get hurt again, especially when they're older in their career. But he pitched great. I think Jack brought up a lot of really good points, and he did give up 2 home runs, but at least they were solos. I think that, if Bayo does that, there's 2 or 3 guys on base when he does it, and that's when you run into problems. And, it was a nice win. It was nice to beat the Yankees finally, and I was hoping for the sweep, I was like, here we go. And then they rained out the next game, so I know they couldn't lose that day. So I was like, all right, we get a chance. And then for what? The first hour and a half or hour and 45 minutes of this other game, we were all excited. things were looking good, and then they weren't. So
Yeah, it was about as complete a game as they've played in a while, and it obviously they're on the road, so you know that they're going to play at least a somewhat clean brand of baseball. There was one error. Wilson Contreras dropped a foul ball, but they had 7 hits as a team. Wilson had 2, including a home run. Andre Monasterio blasted one off Ryan Weathers. He's been throwing the crap out of the ball for the Yankees, too. So the fact the Red Sox are able to touch him up really speaks volumes to just how much better they are on the road at literally everything involving baseball, or at least winning baseball games. Not again, I mean, Wilson, like I said, drove in 3 runs. Connor Wong was 1 for 3. Caleb Durbin extended his hitting streak up into the 5 spot in the lineup for this game. Just a wild lineup. It seemed like they roll out these lineups and they look like spring training lineups every single game. Like, I mean, we'll get into game 2 eventually with like Anthony Siegler in the lineup, but like they put together some pretty good at bats against Ryan Weathers, and they got rewarded for it in the end, winning 5-3. Danny Coulomb didn't suck. Justin Slayton didn't suck. That's important to note before we talk about game 2. And then Aroldis Chapman, wasn't clean, had a strikeout, but a scoreless 9th inning, gets his 13th save in 13 tries. He's in a lot of pain right now. Command's a little bit erratic. It's hard to, I can't imagine it's easy to throw 100 miles an hour when your hamstring's bumming out like that, but yeah, a little scary watching Aroldis Chapman try and move at this juncture. But
they should bring him in with the cart, so he doesn't have to bother jogging in.
Yeah, just get a golf cart and drive him to the mound, and
he's like Ted Williams.
Yeah, exactly. Although that doesn't necessarily help him when he's trying to. I wonder when that hamstring injury happened. It had to have been that weird play in Atlanta, right?
Most likely,
because he was moving.
Or at the
fine.
very least, it really worsened it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how. I'm still amazed that he survived that play in Atlanta, because that was about as awkward a play as one could have. But yeah, he's definitely a little gimpy right now. His ERA is down to 0.46 though, so I don't think he's as dominant as he was last year. But from a run prevention standpoint, he has somehow made last year look like a garbage season. Because again, his ERA is 0.46, and it's under 0.7 since mid-July of last year.
I mentioned this to my dad a couple weeks ago. If, let's say, Connor Wong or someone in the vein of Connor Wong existed in spring training in Cincinnati back in 2012, who was like, hey, Aroldis, aim your pitches. And he said, okay, I'll do that. Is it possible that Chapman could be on Rivera watch?
I mean, if you think about it, though, when Chapman came over from Cuba, he was a starter.
Right, but he might be starting a big.
But he might be on Randy Johnson watch if somebody mentioned that to him in in his first spring training, because he's the second he was informed about command, he just didn't give up any runs, and it's great. I mean, it's crazy to think of. I mean, I know a lot of it was personal or off the field stuff that had a lot of Red Sox fans hating on the decision to bring him in, especially compared to Tanner Scott, who's been also great for the Dodgers this year at least. How ridiculous that looks in hindsight, because he's been probably the best closer they've had maybe ever. I mean, I can't think of Papelbon never had a year like that, or a year like last year.
Yeah, it would be Uehara
2013
13, just because of how insane Uehara in 13 was. But it is only one season there, where even in 14, where you're still really good, he wasn't that guy. But
he wasn't the closer the entire year. He didn't take over closing duties till June or July of 2013, because they tried it with Hanrahan and Bailey, and then I think one other guy before Koji. I might be wrong on that, but still, it wasn't immediate. It was almost like 2019 with Brandon Workman, except they had multiple all-star closers who died before going to Koji versus 0 closers, and all of them just stunk until you got to Brandon Workman. It's gonna really hurt when they finally push that chip forward and trade the guy, because he's really been a breath of fresh air to watch most of the time when he is out there for the Red Sox. What do you guys think as far as like? Because I mean, we're gonna have to fluff up this episode a little bit again with only 2 games, so I do want to have this conversation. I mean, it's Bob Nightingale report, but it doesn't seem to be. It seems to be Nightingale proof at this point, the way the Red Sox are playing, that Chapman's going to get traded this deadline. Are there any teams out there specifically that you look at, like whether it's farm system or just general fit, and you're like, that is like my pipe dream landing spot for trading Aroldis Chapman? Like, if you could control where he goes, where are you sending him?
I don't know. I mean, it feels like the Dodgers is inevitable, especially with Edwin Diaz being dead. It's like it's so obviously right there in front of your face that you like can't avoid it. And obviously they do have a good farm system. Now, granted, they always have a good farm system, and these guys never actually turn out to be good at baseball. Is the way with the Dodgers, like it's like the biggest pyramid scheme ever, their minor league system, where like outside of Corey Seager, none of these guys actually become good baseball players. And
Him and Bellinger, and like,
Bueller, I guess.
And I guess Kershaw.
Well, yeah, but that's
but that was 20 years ago.
Yeah, I'm thinking this administration, but yeah, it just feels like it's almost like so obviously there, because like I've seen some other teams thrown out, like I've seen Atlanta thrown out, but like their bullpen's already so good, like it kind of feels awkward. I've seen San Diego, and it's like, yeah, him and Mason Miller would be insane, but again, like, and granted, AJ Preller's a crackhead. He might just want to go get him anyway, because that's who AJ Preller is. But like, that's not actually the move the Padres need to make to move the needle. So like, when you just look around at things, it's like, yeah, the Dodgers just are so clearly on paper exactly who need Aroldis Chapman. Not that the Dodgers need any help, but like, yeah, if you put Aroldis Chapman on the Dodgers, it's like I saw a tweet today. It's like, yeah, Mookie Betts and Kyle Tucker could have a joint retirement press conference today, and no one would care because they'd still win the World Series. It's just like, yeah, this is true.
For sure. Brian, where would you, if you could pick, where would you send Chapman?
I don't know, because I want good prospects, but then they're on teams that I don't want to win. Like, I trust like whatever Tampa's doing in the minors, or some of these other teams. But like, I mean, that would really hurt, I mean, I kind of like the Dodgers thing because it's West Coast, it's whatever. But Jack basically alluded to the fact that the Dodgers are great at getting guys they want and giving you dog shit that you think is worth money. Like the multiple examples we've had, I don't know. I mean, San Diego, people always talk about that they get that catcher that people like, I don't know. I mean, I'm still in the fantasy land that like they win a couple games in a row for like a week or so, and then they're in it, and then it's not even an issue. But then you run into the same thing as, oh yeah, you are a wild card team. You make the playoffs, you get bounced in the first round. And it's like, would you rather get bounced in the first round, or would you rather trade some of these guys and then fill the holes you need? And I kind of want to fill the holes I need, because I think that, yeah, they got some good players on this team, but let's, if they can fill some of these holes. But I don't know, it gets back to like the bigger picture of like Breslow's here and the management and the scouting stuff. Like there's so many other problems. I mean, that's one problem, but there's a lot of other stuff we got to fix.
Yeah, to answer your question, I would honestly much rather get bounced in the first round. I've dealt with enough years in the last handful of Red Sox baseball ending after 162 games.
Right.
It's very difficult to pinpoint like where I would send Aroldis Chapman. I think in a vacuum, I think if all farm systems are equal, I would send him to the White Sox because I want that team to make the playoffs so badly. I feel like a proud papa by being like fairly high on them coming into the season, and they're actually doing pretty well. And like it'd be it'd be weird to see Andrew Benintendi playing in the playoffs for another team. I know he played for the Yankees a couple years ago, but like just the concept of him being in the playoffs after that deal he signed with the White Sox would be crazy. They just traded Lou Bob in the offseason, so like them doing that and making the playoffs would be cool.
Is he a free agent, Jordan?
Luis Robert?
Benintendi going into the offseason?
I think he's got one more year because wasn't it
Okay, because I totally wouldn't put it past like the world, cosmos, future karma of him like being a free agent, having a big playoffs, and then getting a big fat contract and then sucking for the rest of his career.
Yeah, kind of like he did this time when
yeah, kind of like he kind of did. Yeah, like that's like his MO. Like, don't get me wrong. I mean, hey, if I can, be like Steve Pierce and ride off into the sunset, and never have to work again, like I'm totally cool with that too.
He's the richest contract the White Sox have ever given out, by the way. 5 years, or free agent contract, 5 years, $75 million, and he has just been putrid for them.
Is he their highest paid player?
Huh?
Is he their highest paid player?
Murakami's got him beat on AAV now because it's like 16.5 for him or 17.5 for him.
Okay, which is the underpay though. Everybody's like, oh, he got underpaid.
Yeah, but Benintendi at 5 for 75 is their richest free agent deal they've ever handed out, which is crazy.
Jerry Reisdorf moment.
Yeah, I guess, and he picked Andrew Benintendi of all folks to give that contract.
He has the worst judgment.
I mean, yeah, he wanted to get rid of Scottie Pippen for Tony Kukoc, so like that's who this guy is.
He put Harold Baines in the Hall of Fame too. I mean, the guy is just all over the place.
Yeah, but yeah, Benintendi has one season with a WAR over 0 for the White Sox, and it was last year, and it was 0.2. He has been, this is his 4th year out of 5. He has been worth to the White Sox negative 0.3 FWAR in 4 years.
That fake half season he had in Kansas City was still the fakest thing I've ever seen in my life. When everyone's like, "Oh, he's so good. Why do we trade him?" I'm like, he's hitting 320 with 1 home run. Like, this is some like fake Luis Arias nonsense. Like, this isn't really good, guys. And he was so bad at the end here. Like, there was no recovering him in Boston. Like, that was an absolutely necessary pull the plug change of scenery thing. Like, there was no turning that thing around here.
Did you guys ever see him in Portland?
No, because I could not muster up the travel funds to go up there.
Like the amount of hype with him and Moncada in Portland, it was like flashbulbs. I mean, they were selling seats out. I'm like, I got to see this guy. I'm just curious. And I went up there, and it was such a big deal. The people in Portland were like, oh, my God, these guys are just – I've never seen anything like it before.
It begs the question because this is something that I actually brought up to Isaiah. I feel like the Red Sox are like other than the Dodgers, but they trade them all before they have an opportunity to stink for them. I feel like the Red Sox habitually have like 3 or 4 can't miss prospects in the organization at any time, and none of them come up and actually are like that good. I mean, Roman last year was this year.
Xander Bogaerts.
Xander, yeah, that took a while though. I mean, Mookie wasn't a can't miss prospect. He became one in like overnight, and then immediately was a big leaguer. So I wouldn't count him. But like Benintendi, outside of 18, was a very mediocre Red Sox. Like I'm actually Devers. We should include Devers. Devers was can't miss and actually was very damn good. But I don't know. I just feel like there's all these dudes that the Red Sox have had over the years where it's like they come up and we're like, I thought they'd be a little bit more. And maybe I'm just falling into prisoner of the moment because I've just been so like royally disappointed with Marcelo Meyer this season that it's like clouding my judgment. But yeah, I can't. Benintendi this year has been very blah, but I would send Chapman to the White Sox. I know White Sox fans hate me right now because I dared to bring up the idea of the Red Sox reacquiring Kyle Teal, which was something that was literally reported in the offseason as like something they wanted to do. And all I was saying was, I wonder if there's a way the Red Sox can do that without like waving the white flag on the season. And I truly think if they were to trade like Chapman and I don't know, Sonny Gray for just Kyle Teal, maybe some cash. I think that's a fairly solid deal for both parties. The Red Sox have the arms to kind of work through that, and then they actually get a starting catcher back. I mean, the White Sox are doing what they're doing, and Teal hasn't even played a game for them yet. I don't know. White Sox fans hate me for saying that, though. I had to mute that tweet. I was getting bombarded with people with like 12 followers telling me I'm an idiot.
But the deadline's such an overpay anyway. I mean, usually you're going to, which, I mean, I don't know if that's an overpay, but I mean, it'd be nice to have a catcher. I know you're big on, you want Navarro's as the best backup, right? I mean, that's your whole thing. You're about.
Well, I just think he is the best backup in the league that just unfortunately has to start every game because.
But he doesn't start every game. It's Mickey Gasper, which we'll get into in game 2.
Which is also absurd.
The noodle arm of Mickey Gasper.
Yeah,
like that was gross.
bringing back Kevin Plawecki as now the primary catcher. Although I was banging that drum in 2021 for Plawecki, but he also was hitting like 350 with power for like several months. And Vasquez was just an auto 0 for 4. It was brutal. But yeah, this summer it's like the Red Sox need to walk away from this deadline, whether they're buyers or sellers, with a guy who can be their everyday catcher.
Yeah.
And if it's Salas, if it's Dalton Rushing, if it's bringing back Teal, if they somehow right the ship and they want to buy, like I would go get a catcher. It's just I don't know. I can't watch Mickey Gasper catch many more times in my life before.
And I feel like you're going to.
And I'm unfortunately going to, and probably multiple times in this upcoming series, as sad as that is to say. He made one really nice play today. And then he made 2 of the worst throws to second base I've ever seen because he's not a catcher. It just drives me nuts.
He has a mustache.
He does, and I should consider.
It's a brother named Luigi too, I think.
Yeah, and what are Wario and Waluigi to them? Are they like the Antichrist? I don't know.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Like, are they cousins?
How much longer, you guys, do you think the leash is on Marcelo? I mean, he just continually sucks.
Well, the problem is, who do they play instead of him?
Well, so do you think when Gonzalez comes back, he's going to get any playing time, or what are they going to do with him?
Well, Romy will probably play every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, Romy's going to play every day at second.
Okay.
And then, it's probably Marcelo at short. But if things get worse, but then who else can even play shortstop IKF? Like this thing is.
I don't know if they make a trade for somebody like when they get rid of Chapman, another good defensive player, because Marcelo just needs a break. I mean, it's in his head. He's swinging early, and then he can't get the breaking balls, and then he's all get up for a fastball, and then he just looks like a mess at the plate.
No, I agree. And the thing is with Marcelo, like kind of actually going back to the Kyle Teal things, at the time of the Crochet trade, like back when like packages were being thrown around, I actually was much more in favor of make a move around Marcelo and lesser items than like a Teal Montgomery thing, which is where they ended up. Mainly because, as kind of going back to the whole like can't miss when it comes to Marcelo, and that being the thing, he was supposed to be the number 1 pick and then ended up at 4 and all those narratives. The thing with Marcelo that like it never fully clicked for me, like watching him as a prospect or like even like before he got drafted to the organization, he's kind of just like, at the time anyway, was like good at everything, but he had no real standout tool or standout like this is the thing that makes him special. Where like some of those other guys we've talked about with the Red Sox, even the busts, have had like a standout thing that this is why people are excited about this guy. And with Marcelo, it's like, well, he's good at everything. That's great. But when the competition around you rises, you need to be better than good. You need to be great.
Right.
At least something. And like that has just never really emerged at any level.
Yeah, and he's also been worth -1 out above average at shortstop this year. He was playing second base at a very high level, and I'll give him that. But it's like, we are genuinely at a point with Marcelo offensively where I'm like kind of looking forward to Trevor Story coming back. Like, like God strike me down now, because those are words that should not have been put in that specific order ever. The way that it had trended with Trevor Story, but like I truly think at this point, a surgically repaired Trevor Story can give you more offensively than Marcelo Meyer, because he's giving you nothing. And like again, there was all this talk going into the offseason about like the guys that you aren't moving on from, like just pretty much untouchable. And like Craig Breslow put Marcelo in that conversation by not dealing him for Ketel Marte. And I just watch him. I'm like, why on earth are people putting him in these conversations? Like he's going to be here for the next 7, 8, 10 years. He just isn't. He has not earned that.
The outfielders are the only position players that have earned that. Anthony, Rafael, and Abreu. Those are the three guys who have earned that. And nobody else. And then pitching-wise, it's Crochet and it's Tolley and it's Early. Those 6 guys are the only people who have really earned anything from this organization in like the super long term. Obviously, Rangers locked up and has been good, and Contreras has been awesome, but he's old at this point. Like those 6 guys are the only people who I would have like a firm, I am not moving this guy mindset on.
Yeah, and like I think even somebody like Connolly, if there's the right trade presents itself for him, which again, like going back to the offseason, I was saying it at the time, Marcelo and Connolly early for Ketel Marte was a great trade for the Red Sox if they had actually pulled the trigger on that. And I'm not saying that as a Monday morning quarterback, because Kyle Harrison has turned into Randy Johnson for the Milwaukee Brewers. Like it's just, I would have done that trade at the time. You'd still have Kyle Harrison, maybe. I mean, maybe you would have traded him anyway for Caleb Durbin, in which case, why? But like, I don't know. I watch Marcelo play, and I'm just so unimpressed with him. Like, I mean, yeah, he doesn't hurt you defensively. It's kind of like the only thing about him right now that's redeeming. And like, there's nobody to.
And he has Carshield.
And he has Carshield. Yeah. Unfortunately, the heckler may have gotten the last laugh on him because he can't hit. He can't hit. It's really,
I was
really
disappointing bunting that game when they had the run on first base. I mean, I guess it didn't matter. 6-1 at the end anyway, but I'm like, bunt.
When? Sorry?
In the second game, they had a runner on first, and I think he swung away. And I forget exactly what either he struck out or flied out or whatever, but they had a chance to move a runner over. He's a number 9 hitter or whatever in the lineup. It would have been nice, but
yeah. Oh, I think. Are you talking about when Durbin like popped out after somebody lit off with him?
I have to look at it. I have to look at the box score, but
there were a couple different times where it's like the Red Sox are in a position. Like I think early in the game, like if it were the 4th inning, it's like whatever, you're gonna swing because it's 1-0 at the time. But like 1-1 in the 7th, and you have the bottom of the order up. Like, what are we doing swinging away here? Like, let's play for the 1 run and take the damn lead. It does frustrate me.
Especially when it's a 2-game series functionally. You can sweep with 2 games. That's awesome.
Yeah, the emotional high of sweeping the Yankees going into another division, into another, I guess you can call it hostile environment. I mean, it's the Trop. That's hostile for moral reasons, not because the fan base there is rowdy or anything. But
I missed the Yankees.
I think it was the 3rd inning, guys, where it was Siegler walked, and then I think that then it was like a strikeout or whatever it was.
Oh, and that was fairly early in the game.
Oh, I know, but just like let's get it, especially with Cam Schindler, it's like let's get some runs. I mean, I know he didn't have he had a bad game as far as control. They didn't do anything with him. But I mean, there was a lot of pitches he was missing. Like, usually he has much better stuff as far as where he wants to put the ball. I mean, the Red Sox didn't really do anything anyway. But
yeah, I thought the game plan against Schlittler was actually pretty good today. They made him throw a lot of pitches. They got him out before the 6th inning, and like Contreras, ripped that double off of him, and the vibes were high. Rangers pitching his butt off, and unfortunately, it all came to a screeching halt in the 8th inning, but we'll get to that eventually. By the way, Red Sox win game 1 5-3. And then game 2 never happened. I hate when like ballparks do that shit. I'm like, oh, it's just gonna be like they let everybody get into the ballpark, pay for their food, let them sit, and they're like, oh, this is just a passing thunderstorm. Like we're gonna play. Like that was the mindset last night. They're going to play this game eventually, and then like 40 minutes after what would have been the first pitch time, they were like, oh, by the way, no, we're not playing. So sorry to anybody who paid $25 for a chicken finger basket, because
Get your ass on the subway.
Hopefully nobody had any poutine. If they had poutine, they're in trouble.
Well, thankfully this game was not at Fenway Park because I would have probably been there.
There is not New York
out.
poutine. Do we know that? Have we looked into if there's New York poutine?
I don't think I want to find out if there's New York. What would be like the Yankee Stadium equivalent of the lobster poutine? Would it just be like
pastrami?
Pastrami? That might slap though.
Yeah.
Russian dressing.
Yeah, instead of clam chowder, it would be like spicy mustard or something. We're like creating it's like a Reuben on French fries or something.
That would be regrettably good though.
That would be on. Yeah, you get like sauerkraut and stuff on there. This sounds pretty freaking good. I might make that one of these days just to try it. Giving Hal Steinbrenner $1 million idea. He better cut me in.
He should donate to the Patreon.
Donate to the Patreon so that way we can do things like the 162-0 challenge. I see this link. Oh, Brian just
he sacrificed himself
to send us a link to the ballpark food for Yankee Stadium. Let's take a gander at this. Should I share my screen?
Yeah, gotta incentivize those YouTube views.
Exactly. We gotta share the screen so we can look at this. Look at this food here.
Have you guys been to Yankee Stadium yet?
I have been twice. My browser has blocked my screen. Okay, I guess we're not sharing the screen today. I have been to Yankee Stadium twice. I went in 2024 when Cam Boozer gave up the grand slam to Judge. That was a fun first game at Yankee Stadium.
They do have pastrami fries. Sorry,
do they really?
Yeah,
they do. That is beautiful. That is fantastic. Wait, where is this? Garlic fries. Where are these pastrami fries?
When you click through like all these different things, it's pastrami fries, horseradish cream, deli mustard, and pickles.
That's what I meant. I didn't mean spicy mustard. I meant horseradish. That's what I was referring. That's what I meant. That is fantastic. I wonder if every ballpark has this. Like, I know Oracle doesn't because they just have the garlic fries.
Yeah.
Every ballpark needs to have just a monstrosity on French fries. I would pay so much money for that.
What park did you do last year, Jordan? Was it San Francisco?
I did. Yeah, I did Oracle last year.
How was the food there? Was it decent?
It was solid. I mean, I didn't really eat a whole lot at the ballpark.
Okay.
Most of my food consumption was like random restaurants around the city.
That's fine.
I walked so much to make up for the fact that I was eating like a jerk, and then I got plastered at the Red Sox at that first Sox Giants game. Like, I'm not a big social butterfly, but when you put 11 beers in me, I will give anybody a high five at that point. I am everybody's best friend or worst nightmare, depending on if you're introverted or not.
I'm trying to think what else is good. I know Baltimore's got good barbecue. St. Louis, the food's decent. The Dodgers is actually pretty good too.
Cincinnati was pretty solid.
Has good food. When I was there last year, though, I didn't get anything.
Yeah.
I heard Petco is good food.
Worcester has actually pretty good food. They used to have BT Smokehouse, which is like the best barbecue in Massachusetts, but then they left after the first year.
You said Polar Park?
Yeah, they used to have the place BT Smokehouse, it's in Sturbridge, and they had another, like a satellite store, like near Worcester, like behind the park. And the barbecue was amazing. The brisket, it was really, really good.
Polar Park also has these like giant like helmets of nachos. Here's something to incentivize the YouTube viewers. I can't share my screen, but I can show my phone. I guarantee you that's like 9,000 calories in that helmet, and it's a pretty big helmet. I still have the helmet. Maybe I should go grab it so that way we can.
You're gonna wear it the rest of the
I can wear it the rest. You know what? I'm gonna do it. We're going to have dead air for 10 seconds while I go grab the helmet. I'll be right back.
All right, Jack. Here we go.
Yeah.
You're in charge now.
I'll have to try these nachos once. I'm making my Polar Park debut in July. So.
Oh, nice.
Okay. I haven't been out there yet. So I'm going the 12th of July, Sunday game. So
okay. Have you done Portland yet?
No, I haven't done Portland. I did Lowell back when Lowell happened, and I went to Pawtucket a few times growing up, obviously.
Okay. Yep.
And I've been to some other like random minor league parks. Like I've done Manchester.
Sure.
I've done Rochester, Syracuse, Buffalo.
Yeah.
So working my way through them.
Cool.
This helmet had nachos in it at one point,
And now it has you in it.
and now it has me in it. It has my bald melon in it.
Nice.
Yeah, so that must be a lot of nachos because that's a big dome.
It is a big dome, and there's space.
Jordan, was it last year at Oracle where you got the rundown of like the girl that was dating one of the players?
Oh, that was me at San Diego.
Oh, that was you.
Because that's where Marcelo's from, is from San Diego.
Yeah, so it's been downhill ever since. I mean, he hasn't hit since we brought that up, right?
That's a great point.
Yeah.
Did Jack's curse actually started in 2025 and we were unaware this entire time?
Jack has like the weird voodoo karma. Like he goes to Red Sox games, they suck. He talks shit about like, how much man whores like that the players are. And just like they can't hit ever again. Like, I don't know, Jack. I mean,
we haven't heard from Tristan Casas in a while either.
What did you say about Christian Campbell before he turned into a pumpkin?
I really like Christian Campbell.
That's the problem.
Maybe you shouldn't. Maybe you shouldn't.
Start hating players.
I have to turn into like a Sports Hub level hater in order to succeed.
Yeah. What's that guy? Who's that guy that calls into like every single radio show in Boston? It's like Alex from Boston or something. He has like the random like TMZ level gossip on like every single person in Boston sports. You need to turn into him, and you need to share on 98.5 the Marcelo story that you told. I don't even think you said it on the.
No, I said it off air.
Yeah. So we don't need to get into it fully, but you need to go and share it on 98.5. I think it might save the season. That could be on the Patreon, yeah. And Marcelo will be thanking you when he has a multi-homer game in the next week because of it.
Do we have to send Marcelo to Waltham like everybody else so we can start hitting again?
Marcelo from Waltham. It just doesn't roll off the tongue.
Well, I mean, we get some other players that are hitting good. They go to the local Waltham clinic, and then it blows up. Rich Hill pitched off a mound. He got a 10-day contract with the Red Sox. That worked out great.
Yeah. In 2024?
Yeah.
I can't believe they brought him back in 2024.
And then they just like pulled the plug on him when there was like only like a week left in the season. And they could have just like shown some dignity towards the old man. But
Corey Kluber's like, I told you, man, they're gonna do you dirty. Don't do it.
Yeah, they just kicked him out. Like I vehemently opposed bringing in Rich Hill at that point, but also DFAing him with like 6 days left in the year was the most mean-spirited thing I've seen in a long time.
And he didn't take it personal because he still did Ness and stuff. I think this year he's been in the studio. Yeah.
What month this year did they bring him back? Rich Hill got arrested?
Yeah, he and his either wife or girlfriend.
Yeah, it was at a park, right? Then he get into a fight with like an attendant. Yeah.
That's crazy. I did not know about that.
Yeah, those guys from Milton, man, they think they're on the other side of Blue Hill Ave, and they just cause problems.
What month this year does Rich Hill come back?
Is you polymarket or are you doing AI?
Kalshi.
Yeah, Kalshi. What? How many? He pitched 4 games for the Sox in 2024.
Oh yeah, I think we talked about him.
He told him to kill himself.
Oh, what?
No, like they just like. I still can't believe they signed him at that point in the season and then said like on September 23rd, you're unemployed now. Like just wait.
Well, no, it was earlier in September. It was September 4th that he made his last appearance for them. He pitched, hold on. So he pitched 4 times for them that year. All of them were between August 29th and September 4th. So Alex Cora made him Brendan Bernardino. And then they were like, get the hell out of here, old man. Go become a family man. And then the Royals decided that they wanted to take him away from his family for 2 starts. And then do the exact same thing to him as the Red Sox did. Although he actually messed around and had 5 innings of 1-run ball in his return to baseball last year in July. And then got lit up by the Braves.
Well, look at his stats in 2000. Is it 16 or 15? He had like this run at the end of the year for the Red Sox.
Yeah.
Where you know how you were talking
155
about like
ERA.
how good Chapman was? He was like that level. I won a fantasy league by just picking him up.
He was a freak in 2015. He
Yeah.
Yeah, I
went.
wanted to bring him back.
Yeah. The numbers
And
are
he was
just
really good.
you wouldn't believe it if I read it to you. You'd be like, no, that didn't happen. You're like, yeah, he was that good.
7 innings, 1 hit, no runs, 10 Ks in his
Yeah.
season debut. Then he went 7 innings, 3 earned, 10 Ks.
Yeah.
Then he threw a complete game shutout, 2 hits, 10 Ks.
Yeah.
And then just a meager 6 innings, 2 earned, 6 strikeouts in his season finale in the Bronx.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then he got
Yeah.
1 year, $6 million.
Yeah, and then they brought in
They
David
let
Price.
him go, and I think they brought back like Justin Masterson or something insane.
No,
'Cause they were-
Masterson.
That was that year. That was that year. Yeah.
Yeah, they brought in David Price instead. It's like, I guess in theory that was the wise decision, but I guess in practice they actually probably would have been better off bringing Rich Hill back for that stretch of time, because Rich Hill was also a dog in the 18 playoffs for the Dodgers. So like in theory, you would have actually probably benefited from having Price or having Rich Hill instead. Although you could have had both. Like
Yeah, you definitely could have had both.
Definitely could have had both.
And Stephen Wright. Well, Stephen Wright was good that year, I guess. But,
Yeah, until
like,
John
look
Farrell
at
had him
guys-
pinch run. Like a
Yeah.
psycho.
Till it rained. That was so frustrating. He had that run where he was like, he was amazing. And I remember being at a game, and then it was like, oh, it might rain, and then he just couldn't pitch in the rain. It was like he melted, like Alphaba or something, you know.
Sean O'Sullivan started 4 games that year. That's crazy.
The 17 Red Sox or the 16 Red Sox.
16 Red Sox.
So the Red Sox have had some weird dudes pitch for them over the years. Remember when Aaron Cook was on the team in 2012? He threw a Maddox. I'm pretty sure.
I didn't remember.
In 2012. I'm like 95% sure that that was Aaron Cook that threw a Maddox.
Well, they had him and who didn't they have one other like really weird pitcher that year too?
In 2012?
Who was it? You go to that roster.
Yeah, against the Mariners in Seattle on June 29th. He went 9 innings, gave up 2 hits. I got to double check his pitch count because maybe it wasn't a Maddox.
Rich Hill did have a 1.8 ERA that year, which is worth noting on the subject matter in 2012 as we time travel throughout Rich Hill's stints on the team.
That was his oh yeah, because he was on the team in 2012. He's inevitable. You just know if all else fails, you will get to see Rich Hill pitch for the Red Sox.
Jordan, the scariest thing is we're the same age.
You and Rich Hill, so that means you might get an opportunity to pitch for the Red
No,
Sox.
no. But when I was in high school, he was like the guy, which is like crazy to see. Like now that he's still like we were talking about him, but yeah, he was like when I was a kid, he was like, oh my god, this guy, oh my god, Rich Hill, because he used to throw like he did at the end of his career, and then he did okay, and then he sucked, and he became like a specialist, you know, almost like a setup man, kind of like a left-handed specialist.
Mm-hmm.
And then when the Red Sox got him back up Pawtucket, he's like, I'm going to throw overhand again. And that's when he was nasty for like a little bit. He had like a short window where he got that contract with the A's and then the Dodgers, I think, too. Yeah.
Yeah, he got traded to the Dodgers at that deadline from Oakland. Or not in that deadline. It was in 2017. So he played 1.5 years for the
he had like a 4,000 RPM spin rate on his curveball, something crazy. He only threw like 90. It was like almost like Keith Folk. He wasn't throwing hard, but it was just his control was amazing. I think he was with the Long Island Ducks, and then the Red Sox signed him from the Ducks to Pawtucket.
I'm looking at the lineup right now from this Aaron Cook masterclass of a start in 2012. There are some freaking names that played for the Red Sox in this one. Brent Lillibridge.
Yeah.
Ryan Kalish went 1 for 3 in this game. Jared Saltalamacchia hit a 2-run homer. They got 4 home runs in this game. Will Middlebrooks, Cody Ross, Daniel Nava, and Jared Saltalamacchia.
Cody Ross was a good Red Sox.
He was. I actually really wanted him back in 2013 as well, and they brought in Johnny Gomes and Shane Victorino instead, which, I mean, obviously that worked out beautifully.
That worked out.
But I really wanted Cody Ross back.
No, Cody Ross was a very good Red Sox. He was like one of the only bright spots that season.
Yeah, he had walk-off home runs in back-to-back games against the White Sox. I vividly remember that and a couple of really nice Don Orsillo calls, as is often the case when there's a walk-off home run involved. Dude, there is some. Who the hell is this? Casper Wells I'm seeing on the Seattle side. It is. What are these names that like? Ichiro, then Dustin. No wonder Aaron Cook shoved in this lineup. You got Ichiro at 900 years old, then Dustin Ackley, John Jaso, Brendan Ryan, Kyle Seager, Justin Smoke, Chone Figgins, Jesus Montero, and Casper Wells. That
How many
solid.
guys had an OPS over 700 in that lineup?
None of. I can't tell. I have no idea. I
Okay,
have no
3.
clue. Let me look at the box score here so I can
the
finally
box
find
score
it.
has it. So Jaso, Seager, and Casper Wells were the only 3 guys with an OPS over 700.
Montero might have had a good year.
He did. He was a solid. He was solid his first couple years with the Mariners. They traded him for the.
Was he though?
Or maybe not for the Mariners. No, he was a good Yankee.
He was a good
Traded him
Yankee.
for Pineda.
Yeah, when he was in Columbus or the Rail Riders, he was solid, and it was like, oh, this guy's gonna be awesome, and then yeah.
Aaron Cook faced 1 batter above the minimum in this game.
Wow.
Disgusting that they let this happen. Why can't I find his pitch count? That's all I want is to find his pitch count so I know if I'm a liar or not. And I can't find it.
81 pitches.
Yeah, Maddox. That's ridiculous.
2 hits, 2 strikeouts.
Ooh.
That is ethical baseball right there. What a disgusting assortment of names I am looking at here.
Are you trying to say that lineup is not as good as the current Red Sox lineup?
No, the 2012 Red Sox lineup, this Red Sox lineup actually would probably kill this Red
the
Sox
2012
lineup.
Red Sox, outside of Ryan Kalish, these guys could all hit.
Yeah, in 2012. Important distinction because Will Middlebrooks, all due respect, was only good in 2012 offensively. Does have a 3-homer game though.
He does. He had a great half season, that 15 home run season.
Yeah, until he fractured his wrist. He was just never the same. And then, I mean, I to a degree, like injuries really kind of screwed his career because like he broke his leg in spring training, right? And that was what like sunk his career. He never played again after that.
That's right.
Hector Noesi started this game for the Mariners.
Oh.
Anyway, freaking Aaron Cook. Giving me a computer was the worst thing.
Is he going to start on Wednesday?
He could.
It's TBD.
How old is he? He is 47, so he's older than Rich Hill. According to Fangraphs, he is still on the Colorado Rockies.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, he last pitched in pro ball at 34 years old.
Maybe he's the bulk guy after Bernie.
Yeah. His last professional season, 5 or 8 starts in AAA for the Rockies in 2013. He had an 8.15 ERA. Disgusting. He made 18 starts for the 2012 Red Sox. Guess what his Ks per 9 was?
One bit.
Guess what his Ks per 9 was?
His K per 9?
Yeah.
It's got to be something horrendous.
You don't even know the half of it.
1.7? 1.7?
It was 1.91.
Okay, that was close.
Yeah, you were very close.
His walks per 9 wasn't even bad. The problem is it was still higher than his Ks per 9. 2.01 walks per 9. He had a 59% ground ball rate. Yeah.
Jordan, who was worse, Jordan? Rich Hill or Corey Kluber at the end?
Are we talking 2024 Rich Hill?
No.
Versus 2022 Rich Hill was not even bad. Like
2022 Rich Hill was like pretty good.
Yeah. He couldn't pitch at Fenway. But he had a pretty good year in 2012, except that random start against the Rays at Fenway where he struck out like 11 guys.
Wow.
Yeah, he had a 4.27 ERA, solid under the hood metrics. Yeah, he was a solid pitcher in 2012 or 2022. Also, 2012.
Kluber was the worst. That was awful. That was so painful to watch.
Yeah.
I cannot believe Alex Cora was like looked the fan base dead in the eye and said that man is my opening day starter.
Well, we don't want to put that pressure on Chris.
We don't want to put that pressure on Chris Sale, who then he announced after the 2023 season was the opening day starter in 2024, and then they traded him
right.
for Vaughn Grissom. I wonder who Chaim Bloom would have traded Chris Sale for in 2023 if Alex Cora announced him as the opening day starter.
Maybe no one.
Maybe no one. Set the tone for the season, man. Corey Kluber getting an opening day start in the big 2-3 and the humongous 23. Corey Kluber, opening day. Disgusting.
He pitched pretty well the year before, though, in Tampa is the thing. Like, I understood obviously not number one starter, but I understood the vision of the signing, especially at short money. He had a good season the year before in Tampa, but it just fell apart.
Yeah, I had no problem with signing Corey Kluber, and he actually was fantastic in spring training in 2023. Had me thinking that there was actually something there. He had 3 WAR in 2022 with Tampa Bay. Threw a no-hitter with the Yankees in 21. Like, very clearly showed signs of life, and then in 2023 died just immediately. That was disgusting behavior. Has maybe the worst save in MLB history, though. I don't know if you guys remember his 3-inning save against I want to say it was the Twins. Yeah. No, it was against the Guardians on June 8th. He went 3 1/3, no, sorry, it was against the Twins. He went 3 innings, he gave up 4 runs, 3 homers.
Yeah, I remember that.
I was
What a
at the
save.
game he got shelled at against the Cardinals, and I remember that. And that one was rough.
Yeah, he did not have very many good outings for the 2023 Red Sox. He had 5 innings, 1 earned against the Pirates on April 5th. Then 6 innings, 1 earned against the Orioles on April 25th. Then like a couple of 5 and dives with 3 earned. And then he was just terrible.
It's like John Smoltz with the Red Sox too. Yuck.
Yeah, Smoltz. And now John Smoltz has decided that he hates the Red Sox because of that. Like, man, your ERA was over 9.
Did you guys see the video online about the when was it Montestero hit the home run and the Yankees and Paul O'Neill was giving them shit like, you guys are in last place, you shouldn't celebrate. Did you see that?
I don't know why broadcasters do that. It's like
Paul O'Neill, he was a bitch when he was on the Reds. He's a bitch when he's on the Yankees. He's still a bitch. I hate that guy. He just constantly complains.
I just don't know why broadcasters care that much.
Yeah.
Like, it just comes off so salty.
Yeah.
And like in the American League this year, the Red Sox win like 5 in a row. They're like right there in the playoff picture. Like
if they weren't the worst team ever at home, they'd be in the playoff picture because their road record is good.
Yeah. Like, even if they were just like,
if they could hit average,
a little below average, yeah.
Yeah, if they were 16 and 15 at home right now, they'd be a playoff team.
Yeah, almost a lot.
But how bad is it that their pitching is as good as it is? I mean, in theory, I know today, whatever, but I mean, like, they have some really good pitchers. Like, I know you guys, you watch a ton of baseball. And I remember being watching teams when I was a kid, and they had no pitching. Like, every year it felt like the Cleveland Indians. Like, oh, we got the best lineup, but we got one good pitcher. That guy gets hurt. But like, if that guy wasn't Roger Clemens, it's like a washed-up Brett Saberhagen or Steve Avery or these schlubs that like you got from other teams. You had no pitching. They have so much pitching depth right now, and they've got guys actually in the minors that you're excited about that probably will do something at some point. So like, it's just so disappointing. Their offense is just so bad.
There's no solution in sight when it comes to the offense. That's right. Like the thing. Like, if there was like outside, like, yeah, Roman is going to help if and when Roman plays baseball again.
Right.
But beyond that, it's like, and not only that, it's like where Roman fits into in the lineup isn't where the black holes exist.
Right.
Like, you're not getting a guy who's going to contribute in the middle infield, which has been a black hole, or a catcher who can both hit and play catcher, which you don't have at the moment. And Durden's showing proof of life, maybe, but even then, like, I'm still not completely confident that he's gonna be good. I'm encouraged a little bit.
And there's nobody to sign free agent wise. And then I don't trust the scouting department, ownership, whatever you want to call it, to make the trades with the pitching surplus that we have to address those issues either. That's the worst part for me.
Well, I think the irony is because the middle infield is such a black hole that suddenly Jazz Chisholm looks like a fairly enticing free agent this offseason, as sad as it sounds.
Yeah.
I mean, Jazz is a good player, but like I didn't think they would.
He's also, not that it really matters, but it is again, it's another like we make fun of the Yankees for not going after big time left-handed bats, and correctly so. Like Bryce Harper was begging to be a Yankee. They didn't retain Juan Soto. Like at that park, like that is the strength built around that strength. And DJ LeMahieu was a great Yankee because he was a complete opposite field hitter. That's why he was able to fake those numbers at Yankee Stadium and become a power hitter. The Red Sox refuse to just find legitimate right-handed bats when the park is built for legitimate right-handed bats. Like Wilson Contreras is having a great season. He's a great professional hitter. He wouldn't be having the season he's currently having on any other team, most likely. Granted, he's doing great on the road as well, but Fenway is really helping Wilson Contreras. And that's fine. Like, get more guys where the park is going to help them hit. Guys like
imagine how good he would be if he was in a good lineup too.
Right. It's like, that's one thing that Chaim, to his credit, could identify was those pull power right-handed guys who you can get for short money who will have a 780 OPS.
Yeah.
Whether it's Hunter Renfroe, Justin Turner, Adam Duvall, Kike, he could find those cheap right-handed bats that will hit 20-ish homers, sometimes more in the case of Renfroe, and like not suck at everything else. And they did. And like that's the thing I think has been most noticeable where like, yeah, the pitching development process has been much better under Breslow, no questions asked. But you do need to like identify bats on the margin, and they have no ability to identify bats on the margin. David Ortiz was a bat on the margin all those years ago that they correctly identified, obviously a lefty, but you look at the 2013 Red Sox, guys like we mentioned, Johnny Gomes, Mike Carp had like 45 RBIs in 2013 as a bench bat. It's like
they hung on to Daniel Nava despite early career struggles outside of like that brief stretch of 2010, and then he was awesome in 2013. They brought in Victorino after a dreadful 2012, and he was fantastic.
Like you have to identify those kinds of guys who you think they will be able to hit at Fenway Park and in this city and in this environment. And there's been, outside of Wilson Contreras, in the Breslow administration, I haven't seen them go out and bring in a bat who I'm confident in them doing.
And that. Romy.
Well, sure, yeah, Romy. Yeah, I'll give them Romy.
Why is it they just can't identify offensive talent?
Well, actually, no. To add another one, Tyler O'Neill was a fantastic get by Breslow. So he definitely deserves his flowers there. I don't know. I mean, I've been seeing things lately. I think The Athletic, I didn't read the article, but I've seen a lot of people kind of break it down that there is a genuinely like a right-handed hitter shortage in the sport. It's like you've got like your Aaron Judges of the world that are, kind of holding up their end of the bargain. Bobby Witt, like you got your superstars, but like as far as your fourth outfielder, lefty mashers, like that's why Rob Refsnyder was so great and so beloved here. Was like he was not a guy that you had to pay a whole lot of money to, but you knew you were going to get elite production out of him against left-handed pitching. And the Red Sox just haven't been able to identify that. And like additionally, the issue with Breslow for me, as it pertains to offense, is I still am not entirely sure what like kind of hitter he actually likes. Because, it's been different every offseason, because in 2024, it was Tyler O'Neill, which was a fantastic get. And I think now he was, solo home runs McGee. He didn't drive in any runs. He had 31 homers, like 65 runs batted in. But, like, great get by him to get Tyler O'Neill. 2025 was Bregman, who was kind of like the jack of all trades. Like, he could hit for power. He could hit for average. He walked a bit. Like, he wasn't going to strike out a whole lot. Like, that was the guy that... And then they describe the player that they're looking for in the offseason, and it's like, is that not Alex Bregman? Like, and then they don't bring him back, and then like Caleb Durbin is suddenly like the offensive like addition they make, and he's a noodle. Like, I mean, again, he's been hitting well lately, but like, how long it's going to take him to dig himself out of that early season hole, hitting just singles and like the occasional double? It's going to take him forever. He's going to have to hit like 450 the rest of the season to finish the year above average at the plate, because he just doesn't hit for power. He still hasn't homered against an actual pitcher this season. Like, I don't know what like is Craig Breslow's type of hitter, and like we're looking at if they have to sell bad hitter. are we looking like we're looking at the summer, and if they end up having to trade Wilson Contreras, we're gonna do this song and dance next offseason again with Tristan Casas, where it's like conceptually, it's a good player. He hasn't been a good player by the time he would play again for you in almost 4 years. So are we gonna do that again in 2027 with Tristan Casas?
Probably.
Because unless you're signing Jazz Chisholm, what's out there for bats?
You got to make some trades. That's the only thing you can do. You take some of these guys that in the minors that we have for pitch. That's your only way. That's your only tangible asset. You're not going to get the guys you want trading Chapman or trading some of these other guys at the deadline. I mean, maybe if somebody royally fucks up, but I mean that's kind of our thing, not the other thing.
Yeah, and I don't know. Like, you can't just continually the problem with that strategy is like it worked for Dombrowski because like Charrington and Theo were just ridiculous when it came to drafting and developing. Like that staff was tremendous. It's just churning out like elite level prospects. So Dave could just continue to pluck from it. And as long as he wasn't like an abomination in the draft, they could at least survive it. Like he drafted Hauk, they drafted Duran under Dombrowski, they drafted Casas under Dombrowski. So like they had some hits. But they also drafted Cam Cannon with their first pick in I think 2017. So like they've definitely had some misses under Dave. But like with Breslow, like his drafts so far have looked pretty good. But if you're not spending on any big free agents and you're just trading for every position player to kind of supplement the roster with some sort of substance, you're going to find yourself in a situation where you're going to have a very old roster and no help in the pipeline because that's the only way you can add players.
Yeah, that's what they used to do, Jordan, when they had Dan Duquette. He was from Montreal and he came over, and it was kind of like how we're going to get the guys from Tampa Bay or Moneyball from Oakland, and we're going to give them money, and then they know how to scout and they'll have the money to get the veterans, so everything's perfect. Duquette's philosophy was the minor leagues and the other teams are our minor leagues, and we'll just sign those guys or trade for them or get them, when they peak. Like how they got Pedro Martinez or how they got Manny Ramirez and that can work, but you're right. Because the problem is then you're stuck with these guys like Ellsbury at the end of his career with the Yankees or any of these guys where if you're 35, 36 years old, you have to overpay for the free agents, but the last 2 or 3 years of their contract is going to be shit. Nobody wants to be that guy anymore. Nobody wants to be that team anymore.
Yeah, that's something that's been frustrating me a lot too, with how a lot of people are like talking about certain like players the Red Sox don't have or didn't bring back, like with the Devers thing. Like I've been seeing so many people being like, "Well, imagine having Devers under contract for the next 7 years. Do you want that?" I'm like, I knew when they extended him that age 34 to 36 were probably not going to be very good,
right?
Because he can't defend and he's a big dude. Like those last 3 years, he's probably going to be terrible, or like a shell of his former self. He may like counting stats, like he may still hit 30 bombs, but it's not going to be a productive 30 home runs.
Right.
But like he's 29 years old now. You're telling me like I don't think that would be an issue the next like 2, 3, 4 years.
Right.
But now you find yourself in a situation where Devers wasn't a guy you wanted to bring in, or you didn't want to pay him for 7 years. You didn't want to do the same with Bregman. But then now you have a leadership issue because you don't have any. You have IKF who's calling out the young guys and then grounding into a double play as a pinch hitter today. So you have no leadership. You have no star talent. And you're wondering why you have, or I should say no star talent on the position player side of things. Like you have Roman, but he hasn't really taken that step yet. Yeah, he's a baby. Like he hasn't gotten there yet. Like he's a household name, but like his resume is what it is. It's not overly impressive. He had a good rookie year. That's it.
Right.
But they're in this position where it's like they have a great pitching staff. They defend the hell out of their positions, but they don't score runs because they have no talent, they have no stars in their lineup except for Wilson Contreras. But he, like, not to steal a line from Giselle, but he can't, get on base and then drive himself in. Somebody else has to pick up the slack
unless they add the the golden at bat and allow Wilson Contreras to do that.
Yeah, but then you run the risk of, because he can't be in two places at once. You have to put somebody on base, and then Chad Epperson has to send them home and not get them thrown out.
Is there a realistic path to fix this offense?
Probably not.
I mean, it's only June, Jordan. We got a lot of podcasts to do. Like, I don't want to jump off a bridge or anything, but like, show me there's some hope. Like, okay, guys, like, take the candy bars off, the counter. Have a few edibles. Think of something outside the box here. They legalized mushrooms recently. Like, give me some hope. What can we do here?
I don't think there is this year anyway. Like, I think Romy will help. I think, Romy is a professional big league bat, which they don't have a lot of at the moment. So, like, he'll at least give you something up the middle, which they don't have at the moment. So that'll be nice. But it's really going to be reliant on Roman coming back, and it's going to be reliant on either Marcelo and Durbin both figuring it out, or just one of them really figuring it out to the point it can make up for the other one.
Okay.
Or it's Arias very rapidly moves up through the system.
Well, yeah, but Jack, what you're saying is that basically there's no hope. So I'm wondering if that's the case. How much longer do we wait before we see Arias? I mean, if the season's a wash, like,
But I think it's about whatever that comfort level is with him and with the organization, where it's like, I don't want to rush the guy for no reason, especially in a lost year.
Right. And you trust the ownership not to rush him too, right?
Well, so the thing is the Red Sox, if for nothing else, like they still have like what's gonna save them from actually debuting Arias is he's currently in Double-A.
Right.
Still, like in theory, like we've seen them call up every single like infielder on the 40-man roster at some point. Like we've seen Sogard, we've seen Anthony Siegler, who's played a couple of times, including today, which we haven't even got into today's game yet. We will eventually. Like Monasterio. And then they have Mikey Romero down there. Like Nate Eaton's played the infield. They could try him. They have Chang on the 40-man roster. So actually there's one guy on the 40-man they haven't called up. I don't know why he's still with the organization.
Third baseman Nate Eaton.
Third baseman Nate Eaton. Yeah, he's played second base as a pro as well. I mean, Braden Ward's played some infield as a pro as well. I don't think we'll ever see Braden Ward, unfortunately. But like once the sell happens and you start bringing like whoever they bring in, because like there's going to be some major league talent they bring back. I'm assuming that tends to be the case, even when you sell. But like you'll start seeing like Mikey will probably debut at some point in the second half, and then like if September rolls around and Arias is just like clearly too good to be in AAA, then maybe we see him for a couple of weeks. But I don't think they want to start his service time clock until at least post lockout. It just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to them. Again, it's a lost year. Like I think the only way you really bring him up is if you think he can really save you, and I don't think they believe that. Not at this point.
Right.
And I hope they never do believe that, because the last thing I want is for them to then take another young player and say, "Hey, save our season." They only did that last year with 2 guys or 3 guys. And it worked. But like not every single prospect you call up is going to be a superstar, and especially not right away, which is the sad
I
thing.
know I've been a broken record about this on most of these episodes this season, but it really does highlight why it makes no sense to have pulled the plug on Christian Campbell, the infielder, because I sure wish that was at least something we could explore at some point, because we sure need someone in the infield who can hit. Not that like Christian's tearing the cover off the ball, but I might like my chances with him more than some of these other guys, and you already paid him. Is
he a better hitter than Marcelo right now? What do you think?
Probably.
Yeah.
Marcelo genuinely just can't hit.
Right.
It's bad. Like I shouldn't say can't hit, because that makes it sound like I'm saying he never will hit. But right now, it is a mess for him. He homered against the Braves on May 15th. Since then, entering play today, 191, 2. He hasn't had an extra base hit since then.
Right.
That's 52 plate appearances, and then he went 0 for today as well, so his average is even worse than the 191. Like it's not like it's not like he's like getting snake bit with some rotten luck. Like his average exit velocity entering play today was 85.7 since that game against Atlanta that he homered in.
Yep.
9 for his last 50, or 9 for his last 51. He's walked once. Now he's not striking out, which is great, but he's not hitting. Like his batting average on balls in play in that stretch is 220. He can't hit, or he's not hitting.
I think Christian's hitting like 280, but like no power though, right? So
No, he's actually really sputtered in May. He
Right, so
really
okay.
sputtered in May. He's down to 227 for the year. He does have a 357 on base, but he doesn't have any pop. He's got 2 homers, 8
I don't know what
doubles.
you would gain by making that swap either. So I mean, I think I don't know if they're stuck, but I mean, they probably ruined him. I don't think you see Casas ever again. It's a lot of. I wonder if it is it development. I mean, because it seems like these guys are on the fast track, and then something happens. I mean, we always blame the training staff, screwing these guys up. But there's more to it. There's got to be more to it because you can't miss on this many guys, can you?
Well, I think the problem is the expectations that they put on them immediately. Like Christian Campbell.
But it's because of podcasts like this that are the expectation. I mean, I see the hunter porn that is on Twitter. Every time a guy does something to the minors, I'm like, oh, I love this guy. Oh, I love this guy. Oh, who's this guy? And you get so excited on your phone seeing these studs hit bombs. They're like 19 and they're an A-ball. And, you get kind of, okay, well, maybe this year, maybe next year, whatever. But once they get to AA and move up, you kind of see the studs and the duds. And it seems like we get a lot more duds once they leave Portland.
Well, the problem is that the front office puts these expectations on guys. Like I said, Christian Campbell should have never made the opening day roster last year. Like the fact that I know that in April it looked like a genius decision to do that.
Right.
But like he was awful in spring training. He looked completely overmatched outside of like the last maybe 3 or 4 games of camp, but they'd already decided by then he was making the team. David Hamilton had a much better spring training.
Marcelo actually had the best spring of the
Marcelo had the best spring training.
Christian did have a good April though, from what I remember, right?
He did. He was great in April, but they rushed to extend him. They gave him an extension after like 5 big league games, and not to say that like in hindsight, like Corbin Carroll got an extension for like 30. Roman got an extension after like 40. Like it's not like there's okay, you've played this amount of games, so therefore we know we should extend you. Because I mean, we've seen it with other guys. Like Costas turned down an extension that I would have been very happy.
Who was the first guy to get the extension early? Who's the guy on the Mariners, the center fielder?
Oh, J-Rod.
That was the guy who set the stage, right? Basically, once that happened, it seemed like it happened a lot more right after that.
I mean, the Braves did Acuna and Albies before then.
Well, the Acuna
Salvi got one in Kansas City too.
What's that?
Salvi got one in Kansas City in like 2013. That was pretty like before its time, which is honestly him signing that contract might be the reason he's got a Hall of Fame case because he spent his whole career with Kansas City and will never play again for another team. Worked out perfectly for him. He got to grift all-star appearances as the lone representative on a crappy team his entire. I'm not gonna do this again. I get my face starts turning red when I start talking about Salvi. But yeah, I think it's a lot of its expectations that the organization puts on these guys. Like even if they're not explicitly saying it, like you're telling me Marcelo didn't come into camp this year. Like I gotta be a dude for this team to like win games because
there's expectations on him when he's Anthony's wingman at the bars.
I mean, at that point he's allowed to just be a pretty face, like
you got to pull your weight,
Yeah, being a pretty face at the bar helps. Being a pretty face, in a
I disagree. I think it helps because, like, we saw how many chances Bobby got,
and Benintendi. Oh, it'll help him get opportunities, but will it help him actually play baseball at a high level? No, it won't.
Yeah,
but like,
unless the pitchers get so distracted.
He was even league average right now. How much better would this team be? What do you mean? Yeah, they'd be over 500. They would be if he was league average right now. They'd be over 500.
Probably, or at the very least, right at 500.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at their run differential, which I know got skewed again a little bit today, but like you look at their run differential, their expected win-loss is like 31 and 32 right now.
Wow.
Like I mean, it helps that they lose a lot of games 3-2, and when they win, they generally win like 8-1. So it does kind of skew things a little bit, but you get average production out of Marcelo, and God forbid you had average production out of him and Caleb Durbin, you're probably leading the American League East right now, or at least or in that like echelon with Tampa and the Yankees. It's unfortunate you've got.
Can we talk about Abreu too, not doing anything anymore either? Like, come on.
He's a frustrating player, but like he's still like, other than Wilson, probably their best position player right now, and it's tough to complain too much about him because like he's done a whole lot. He's done a lot to like make himself a better version of himself, but he has completely nerfed his power. He's got like 2 home runs since the end of March, which is sad.
I
But
like what Raphael is doing. I mean, when he has 2 strikes on him, it's not an automatic out all the time anymore. I mean,
yeah,
that's a big step for him.
yeah, he's been spraying a lot of line drives, and it's been nice to see. And he's not. It's not even sacrificing his power to do so, because I think last year at this time he also only had like 4 or 5 home runs. He really is a dude who, like in June and July, is where he makes his hay from a power standpoint. Like
Yep.
last year, he had 16 home runs. I want to say like 9 of them came in June and July. Be curious to see if he's able to hold this up over the course of the season. But yeah, like 286, 348, 432. That's pretty much what he was as a minor leaguer.
Yep. I'll take
took a
that with
long
him
time.
all day.
Oh yeah, with the defense and the base running, that's a foundational franchise player.
Yeah. Should be a perennial 4-win guy so long as he
Minimum.
is like a fringe average bat. I mean, last year he had 3.8 WAR and he was 10% below league average offensively. This year he's 16% above league average offensively. He's already at 2 WAR with 100 games to go.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know how they can salvage their this offense unless they decided to sell players off now and get big league talent back. Like the idea that I'd floated out about Chapman for Kyle Teal, which I don't think will happen. But
Well, what's the thing about how they'll take on shitty contracts because they want right-handed power so bad?
Yeah, I don't know what all that meant.
I hope that's not true.
Does that mean you'll pick up a shitty contract that you hope will turn it around power-wise, or you'll pick up a good guy with a shitty contract on top of that?
Yeah, they kind of made it seem like the bad contract and the right-handed bat might not be the same person. Like that,
Okay.
they added that qualifier, so it might be like, here, take on this albatross in addition to right-handed bat. But also, like when you look around the league, it's like I don't see many like bad teams that have right-handed power bats and contracts they want to move. Like it's not
right
conducive. So it really, like, I don't see like a clear like, yes, this is the team that matches up. And I hope it's not like a panic Manny Machado like I've seen some people throw out there, because that would be its own mess. I want no part of that.
You don't want Tatis and Machado just to make their books easier?
I fear it's going to be Bogarts. You imagine getting out from underneath the Devers money and then being saddled with Xander Bogaerts in the big 2026. I know for like a brief period he was having a solid year. It is not solid anymore.
No.
His OPS is 654.
Whew. And I know his defense has been good this year, but like
irritating as well.
No.
Yeah, he's got 3 outs above. He's got 10 outs above average since the start of last season. Where the hell was that?
He and Trey Turner have like both randomly decided to become good at defense, and I don't get it.
Yeah, it started in 2022 with Bogarts. He had 5 outs above average in 2022. That was his first year. Oh no, he had 2 outs above average in 2017.
Was Devers that bad that he had to try and make up the range and just couldn't do it anymore?
No, I think 2022 it helped playing next to Story, because you had another shortstop on the infield that could make a whole lot of plays to your left that you couldn't get to. So then you could cover Devers' ass because Story could cover your ass up the middle.
Right.
And unfortunately, we only got 1 year of that. But like again, the contract.
Yeah, but also, how many games did Story even play in 22?
96.
Yeah, so that's still he had to grind out the rest of those without.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. I don't know how to check. That should be another thing that Baseball Savant adds is like outs above average, like you can do a search and you can be
like
okay,
on
based
off.
on this, but yeah, like on off, but like outs above average, like okay, because I remember being like when Devers played next to Yu Chang, he was like a solid third baseman, but when he played next to Kike, he was the
worst ever.
But it's like you only can sort it by month. So I can't tell how much of this outs above average nonsense is attributed to Kike Hernandez's existence versus Yu Chang's. But yeah. Anyway, today sucked.
Yeah.
Not for the whole game though. It was pretty cool for about an hour and 45 minutes.
Yeah, it didn't suck the entire game. Ranger Suarez was awesome today. It was his best start since he got pulled after 4 against Houston at Fenway. He got into the 7th inning. I thought they took him out of the game a little quickly.
I agree.
But Tyron Guerrero has kind of earned the right to face righties in like the mid to late innings.
103 miles an hour. Yeah, that was sexy.
He's a beast, dude. I love Tyron Guerrero. I also love the fact that now we all know it's Tyron Guerrero and not Tayron for a decade. But yeah, what were your thoughts on Rangers outing today, Brian?
I thought it was great. I mean, I went to a game. I think you were there. Was it a month ago now? Where he was just solid. It was like the 7th inning. I think it was like 70 pitches. It was like, this is great. Who is this guy? It's like, that's the guy in Philadelphia. And my dad looks at me and goes, why the fuck would they get rid of this guy? I'm like, you're right. He's solid. Then he has duds every once in a while. But no, I don't know if it was his best game of the year pitching wise, but it was right up there. It was in the top 2 or 3. I was also surprised they took him out early, but it didn't backfire for them. I mean, it worked out perfectly. And he had some jams. He got out of some jams. But he was throwing. It's funny, he throws 90 and they're late on it. It's because then he throws a pitch before that. So it's like 77 or whatever it is. But no, he's a great. I know, going into the season, we're like, well, Conley early is a better pitcher than Tolley, but Tolley can throw harder. There's pitching and then there's throwing. And Suarez is a pitcher. He's great. He doesn't throw hard, but if you get a playoff game and he's going to start the game, you get a pretty damn good chance of winning that game. And I think today was really frustrating because he pitched about as good as he can, and then the guys after him pitched pretty good. And we'll get into what happened with Slayton, but that was a winnable game. And if they win both of these games, we all feel a lot better. It's like it wouldn't have been a nice corner to turn, and they just couldn't do it.
That seems to be the case all season, where it's like they're a win or 2 away from us really being like, maybe. And they lose, and in the fashion in which they lose too. It's not just like if they had lost today 2-1, and it's because Cam Schlittler abused them again. It's like, okay, Cam Schlittler does that to everybody. He leads the American, especially the Red Sox. But he literally leads the American League in earned run average for a reason. Like, he's pretty damn good. Like, you lose games like that in that fashion, it's like, okay, what can you do? You tip your cap, guy pitched his butt off, but Ranger Suarez is going band for band with him. Actually outpitched him if you want to go the whole, like, he got 2 more outs than him.
They pulled him out of the game earlier. Yeah, absolutely. You got Cam Schlittler out of the game. And he didn't have his best stuff today either. I mean, he walked guys that he shouldn't have. This was a winnable game for the Red Sox. And if you can get that version of Schlittler that you're pitching against, and like, you got a chance, you got to win this game, because typically he's just going to shove and you have no chance.
Yeah, and because he's so talented, he's an ace level pitcher at this point. Like, he can suck and still only give up 1 earned over 5 2/3.
Yep.
But yeah, it's been like time and time again with the Red Sox this year. And like, you look at the issues with runners in scoring position that they've had over the course of the season, it feels like a lot of the time it falls on somebody like Willie or Abreu not getting a big hit in a timely hit in a critical point of the game. Today it was IKF grounding into a double play as a pinch hitter after Monasterio got an infield hit as a pinch hitter. That sunk them offensively. And then, Justin Slayton gets 2 quick outs and then throws arguably the worst pitch of all time. I love that that's kind of a thing. It's like, you throw a pitch right down the pipe, it's just arguably the worst pitch ever. But you throw a cutter to a lefty right down the middle, you're like hunting his barrel in with the short porch. Just an awful pitch. And Slayton was candid enough to say that it was a shit pitch when he got asked about it. And then he just snowballed. That's the one thing about Slayton. And like, overall this season, he's been great, except for 2 outings. But my God, like, can we have a game where he's like not good, but like it's like it doesn't completely ruin your chance of winning a game?
You want a game like with Chapman, when the ball hits him and he still gets the guy out of first base.
Yeah, like I would love.
He's not doing great this year. Then you look at his ERA and his WHIP, you're like, holy shit, he's actually having statistically the best year of his career.
Yeah. Like, I would love it if Justin Slayton wanted to have an outing where he like walks 2 and doesn't give up any runs. And it's like, okay, he didn't have his best stuff today, but like, he's a good pitcher. He got out of it unscathed. He's either been like just ridiculous. Like he had a 4-pitch hold in the series opener. Or he's getting absolutely blasted like he did today and against Minnesota a week or so ago or 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
It's just, and maybe a lot of it's injuries, but I just can't get there with Justin Slayton. Like I'm genuinely willing to put Tyron Guerrero above him on the totem pole as far as like guys I trust personally.
Okay.
Slayton's just not there for me yet. Maybe it's mostly injuries, but like days like today happen, and I'm like, ugh. I feel like there's always going to be something that holds him back from taking that like next step. And he's still young. It's only his 3rd year in the league, but
Well, I mean, Chapman is not 100%, and then Whitlock is still out, right? So, I mean,
yeah.
maybe I'm thinking with those guys healthy, that might. I mean, basically, that was the game right there. Maybe Chapman comes. I don't know, but I mean, I think maybe because of the injuries, that's why Slayton was in that moment at that time. And I think with 2 other guys healthy, I think it might have been a little different. I don't know if the outcome would have been different. The other guys too can shit the bed too. Whitlock's had issues in the past too. But I think they were asking a lot from Slayton. And the first 2 guys he blew away, 97, 98 mile an hour fastballs. I listened to the game in the car and I'm like, he's going to get out of this. And then he didn't.
Yeah, just garbage pitch to Cody Bellinger. Before we move forward, I forgot to ask you, Jack, what were your takeaways on Ranger Suarez's outing today?
Yeah, that's just who he is. He's a great pitcher. I mean, he's a guy who he was right at the top of my list in the offseason of like, I want this guy on my baseball team. And this is exactly why. He pitches well in big games. He doesn't walk guys. He limits hard contact. And when he'll give up a few hits, but he scatters them. He loaded the bases, got out of it. He's just a professional pitcher who, like, as Brian said, if this guy's on the mound in a big playoff game, you're like, okay, I feel good about this.
Yep.
No matter who's on the hill against him. So even if it's someone who like technically might be better the same way today, like Cam Schlittler is probably like a better pitcher if you were to rank guys than Ranger Suarez, but Ranger's able to go pound for pound with him. And no, it was a really good outing, and it sucks to waste it the way it got wasted today. And yeah, I agree. While it was a quick hook, like Guerrero has earned opportunities and stuff. He's been really, really great so far. And it's just that 8th inning was just such a disaster where it's like you went from believing like, okay, we can maybe, get this interesting. We can maybe put up a run in the 9th or force this thing to extras. Like let's at least battle. But then just to lay down and die in the 8th inning, like it sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then they bring in Joe LaSorsa.
Yeah. And he got, it was
big flag.
Funny.
First pitch of his Red Sox career, 3-run home run to Jazz Chisholm.
Hit 970 feet.
He crushed that.
Welcome to the club, buddy.
Yeah, and it's so funny because he literally just is Craig Breslow. And it's just Craig Breslow giving up that home run after Craig Breslow traded for Craig Breslow. And it was just
Craig Breslow also was Craig Breslow managing the Red Sox. So it's like it's just Craig Breslow is everywhere.
Craig Breslow put Craig Breslow into the game after trading for Craig Breslow and then gave up the home run himself.
Yeah.
Sabotage.
Yeah. I didn't understand why they brought Joe LaSorsa over from Pittsburgh. It just didn't really
because he's Craig Breslow.
Because he's Craig Breslow. It's funny that you mentioned that too, because I've been again, like I did last weekend, I've been playing MLB 14 the show all day. And I got smoked in the first inning of a game against the Orioles. John Lackey just gets absolutely bombed every single time he pitches for me. But I cut it to 7-5. I bring Craig Breslow in for the 7th. He gave up 2 runs. This asshole. And I'm currently losing 9-5, and I will probably lose this game because of Craig Breslow. Craig Breslow touches anything, it goes to hell, pretty much, is the long and the short of it. But yeah, Joe LaSorsa did a great job of making sure that the Red Sox couldn't fake comeback their way into this game, because 6-1 against David Bednar was just not going to happen. And they lose 6-1.
Yeah.
And that's the second game of the series. And the
Nicky
only
Gasper was not helping at all.
No, he made that really nice play on that chopper from Caballero. I want to say it was the 5th inning, which was a really nice play. I mean, he, all in one motion to field it and throw a strike to Contreras at first base to get a speedy runner. He could not throw to second base.
Nope.
It is like treasonous that this man is a catcher for this organization. Again, please get a catcher this summer, please. Because like, what is Carlos Narvaez doing here if Mickey Gasper's the everyday catcher to begin with? And then like, they're trying to trade Connor Wong, but you're not going to get a whole lot for him anyway.
Nope.
And then so you're just gonna is Mickey Gasper and Carlos Narvaez your catching tandem for the next 6 years?
Hope not.
Please no.
It can't be.
I hope not. It better not be. But then like who's even available this summer or this winter rather for catchers? Is like Carson Kelly, I think, is a free agent again.
Isn't Jeffers a free agent?
Oh,
Is that-
Jeffers might be. No, I think Jeffers is. Let me double check just to confirm that.
Well, Danny Jansen just went on the IL, right? So he's out.
Yeah, don't say that too loud because Hunter will show up and wring your neck for that. He hates Danny Jansen. The catchers this offseason that are definitely going to be available are Mitch Garver, Tyler Stevenson, Ryan Jeffers, Travis d'Arnaud, Austin Hedges, Jake Rogers, James McCann, Jonah Heim, Sandy Leon, Christian Vasquez. You got mutual options on Gary Sanchez, Carson Kelly, and Kyle Higashioka, and a $14.5 million club option for William Contreras. So he'll be with the Brewers next year.
Yeah. Yeah, outside of Jeffers, that's a rough group.
Yeah, like maybe you can. No, not even because Tyler Stevenson's 30. Yeah, there's nobody available there that makes me excited except for
No,
Jeffers
not
because
even a
Jeffers
little.
can frame a little bit and he hits for power, but like,
Yeah.
what are the chances they bring Sandy Leon back?
0.
Think there's a greater chance that they bring back Vasquez?
Yes.
How are they
Yeah,
only
between the two, I think Vasquez is much more on the table.
So now they go to 1 decimal place on Spot Track for these guys' ages. Sandy Leon's only 1.4 years older than Christian Vasquez. That feels wrong.
He's not.
Sandy Leon is 37. Let's get to the nitty gritty here. Sandy Leon is 37 years, 2 months, and 25 days old. Christian Vasquez is 35 years, 9
So
months,
when
and
they were
17
on the
days
team
old.
at the same time, they were basically the same age. I refuse to believe that. Sandy Leon
Yeah.
was at least 5 years older than Christian Vasquez at that point in time.
In 2018,
Did they like
Christian
put him
Vasquez.
in like? Did they freeze him? Was he in like suspended animation for a bit?
Him and Ted,
Sandy
yep.
In 2016, when Sandy Leon had that random year he was good, he was 27.
No, he wasn't. He was 32. I was there. I remember.
He's looked the exact same his entire major league career, and he got called up for the first time at 23 in 2012. What on earth was going on? He was 27 in 2016. He was 29 when the Red Sox won the World Series. He had a 34 WRC plus that year. I believe that. It was still higher than his age. God, that team was such a buzzsaw. They allowed Sandy Leon and Christian Vasquez to play every single day, and they still won. Vasquez had a 42 WRC plus. Sandy Leon had a 34. That team won 108 games.
And beat like 300 win teams easily.
Yeah, without breaking a sweat. What a ridiculous team they had that year. And the leader, I bet you guys can't guess the leader in WRC plus on the 2018 Red Sox.
Well, is it going to be like something stupid? Like, are we not talking about like qualified players? Is it Brandon Phillips?
No, it's not. But you are onto something when you say it's going to be something stupid.
Steve Pierce.
No.
Who played like 3 games on the 2018 Red Sox?
Don't think about games played. Think about total plate appearances.
Is it going to be a pitcher? It's Rick Porcello, is it?
It is Rick Porcello, yes. 208.
Wow.
He was 4 for 7. No, he was 3 for 7 with a double and 3 runs batted in.
Nice.
Every other at bat he struck out. But he had 3 hits and a double and drove in 3 runs. He actually drove in more runs than Brandon Phillips did. And Dan Butler. He had as many RBIs as Brandon Phillips and Dan Butler combined.
Yeah, but Phillips had that bomb in Atlanta, which was awesome.
He did. I would take current Brandon Phillips over like probably Marcelo right now, the way he's hitting. How old is Brandon Phillips? He's 44. I mean, they signed Rich Hill when he was older.
He can play second, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Problem solved. All right. Playoffs back on.
Brandon Phillips somehow was worth -2 outs above average in 30 innings at second base in 2018.
That can't be possible.
Oh, he was like metrics hated Brandon Phillips. He only got 3 years of the outs above average era. But in 2016 with Cincy, he was -16. In 2017, between was it the Angels and the Braves? Yeah, was -11.
Yeah.
-13 rather, and then -2 in 30 innings in 2018. I love Brandon Phillips though.
Oh yeah.
Can we let him manage? Like I just want him around, you know?
It'd be nice.
Honorary Red Sox. Honorary Red Sox, kind of like Dom Smith, honorary Irish Catholic.
Troy O'Leary.
A solid career. And he's technically a World Series champ, although I don't think it counts on his Baseball Reference, which is really sad. I hope they
He didn't get a playoff share.
I'm sure he got a playoff share, but I don't know if on
Yeah, you got to
Ref-
be on the playoff roster for it to reflect on that on the Baseball Reference.
That's sad.
He gets a ring
on
though.
the playoff roster.
Yeah, he definitely gets a ring.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they probably gave him a ring. He should have been on the playoff roster. You know, they had Blake Swihart on there.
Wow.
Blake Swihart got like one single plate appearance on the 2018 playoffs, and it was because of that 18 inning game.
Yeah.
That game ended in such disgusting fashion. Christian Vasquez was the first baseman by the end of that game.
Wow.
Love Brandon Phillips though. Anyway, Red Sox lose 6-1. I think we should probably preview the Rays series now.
Yeah.
Like I said, this was going to be a short episode, so naturally we're at an hour 37.
Nice.
Because of course we are. So yeah, no off days, so they jump right back into play on Monday against the Tampa Bay Rays. It is currently Mason Englert / Bulk for the Tampa Bay Rays. He's got a 4.71 ERA. Does Englert. Connolly early gets the ball for the Red Sox. 3.26 is his ERA. That is a 6:40 p.m. first pitch in the Trop. Welcome back to the Trop. Game 2 should figure to be a pitcher's duel based on their ERAs at the very least, although I refuse to accept that Nick Martinez is good. Peyton Tolley, 2.28 ERA going up against Nick Martinez, who's got a 2.29 ERA. It's higher than it was when he came to Fenway. I think it was like 1.5 when he pitched at Fenway.
Yeah, and it was that same matchup in that game. It was Tolley and Martinez.
No, it was Bennett and Martinez, I think.
Are you sure?
Because didn't Nick Martinez pitch the ESPN game, or am I completely making that?
No, Nick Martinez pitched.
No, it was what's his name? Griffin Jacks that started that game. So no, you're right. It was Tolley versus Martinez. So that's the matchup. Game 2. That's Tuesday, also 6:40, and then another midweek day game series finale. Jake Bennett probably the starter. Right now it's TBD, but I'm going to assume it's Jake Bennett. 4.35 is his ERA against Drew Rasmussen, who is just a freak. His ERA is 3. He's so good. That game's at 110. If I'm not mistaken, didn't they get Rasmussen from the Brewers for Willy Adames? Because of course they did.
Wow.
I'm pretty sure they got him from Milwaukee because I vividly remember him being a Brewer.
That's right. It was him and JP Fireisen for Willy Adames and Trevor Richards.
Yeah, just a trade that on paper should have very heavily favored Milwaukee, but because they're the Rays, they turned JP Fireisen into like an actual like competent big league reliever. Like he had a 1.48 ERA in 56 games for the Rays.
Whoa.
And since then, his ERA, now granted very limited playing time, 8.18 with the Dodgers in 24, then 9 with the D-backs last year, and then 13.5 with the Dodgers last year.
Wow.
Yeah. Anyway, that's game 3. That's a 110 first pitch. I'll start with you, Jack. how the Sox doing in their return to Tropicana Field?
I don't know how to approach this one because I look at the Wednesday game and I'm chalking that up as an auto loss because Rasmussen against this offense isn't going to go well.
No.
So
You're very right.
I'm considering Wednesday an auto loss because they're not going to be able to score, and Tampa will score. Like Bennett's solid, but that's just not going to end well. I like Connolly tomorrow against a fake imaginary no pitchers situation, so I'll give them the win tomorrow. And then we get to Tuesday, and it's like Tampa's a much better team, and Martinez is pitching well. And Tampa won that previous Martinez Tolley game. At the same time, though, I love Peyton Tolley. And the Road Sox aren't a train wreck in spite of today. Maybe I'm just, too far gone at this point. But I'm going to say they win 2 out of 3. I'm going to say they win Monday, Tuesday. And then they get their absolute ass kicked on Wednesday, like bad, like 9-0 or something.
Do you think we get a troll lineup on Wednesday?
Alex Cora's gone, so probably not.
Anthony Siegler's going to hit
I would love a 3-catcher lineup on Wednesday, though.
Well, okay, so here's the thing. Lou Merloni brought it up on the broadcast today. Technically, the Red Sox have 6 catchers on the roster right now. You've got your 3, like you've got your
Contreras.
Then Contreras is 4. Siegler can catch, and IKF can catch.
Yeah, that's true.
And then when Romy was the emergency catcher before they had 400 catchers. So technically, when Romy comes back, assuming none of those guys lose their spot on the roster, he'll have 7 catchers. So you could roll a whole lineup of catchers.
It's a shame Devers isn't still here because he could do maybe they're going to ask me to catch.
Which is the last thing they would do, but you never know. They did ask him to play first base after telling him to light his glove on fire. And center field. Maybe they'll ask him to pitch. Maybe that was the straw that broke. Would he have? Nah, he probably would have. You're right. He would have enjoyed that. It would have given him a chance to let it rip, and he would have 100% snapped his UCL on the mound. Brian, how do you think the Sox do this week?
Well, I've been doing sweeps, and we're gonna get one eventually. This could be it, but yeah, Jack is on to something. That last game, that's gonna be the tough one. I got no faith in this offense at all. But then they score 8 runs, they win 8-1. And then I'm like, oh, okay. And they'll have a 5-3 game. Like, all right. And then they run into a buzzsaw. So I want to say sweep, but I think Jack doing the 2 or 3 is the smart thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with a clean sweep here with the 3 of us all going 2 out of 3. I'm not gonna say the Red Sox sweep. Absolutely not. Just not going to happen. The odds of them winning 3 games in a row. Have they even done that yet this year?
I don't think so.
I can't think of a time.
Have they won 3? Hold on, I gotta check this because I
do too.
I genuinely do not believe they've won 3 straight. At any
they
point
swept in Detroit.
Oh, yeah, that's right, and they swept the Royals as well.
Okay.
So they've done it. So they've done it twice, and obviously both times on the road because
the Road Sox.
The Road Sox. The Boston Red Sox. I'm still gonna stick with 2 out of 3. I'm with both of you. Games 1 and 2 should favor the Red Sox. Game 3,
I would
very much does not.
If they want to sweep, I'm perfectly okay with that. I'm not gonna say
I'll
no.
allow it.
Yeah, no, I won't contest it.
No,
I mean if they want to, again, total autonomy there for the Red Sox if they want to.
It can't rain in there because if it does, it's catastrophic.
Yeah,
but maybe they could have another rain out and then win 2 out of the Phantom game, and then they win the 3rd game, later on. That could happen.
Yeah, can the Trop? Nah, I don't want to put that into the universe after.
I don't want that.
After what happened a couple years ago.
Tampa, that means there's serious problems in that area if that roof comes off again.
Yeah, I was gonna say, can the roof leak on Wednesday? But I feel like that's a little too close to the roof getting ripped off. Like it did,
we don't need that. People in Tampa don't need that.
Yeah, the last thing America needs is another catastrophe like that.
Yeah,
but anyway,
keep it down. We don't need too many catastrophes.
Yeah.
The Knicks might win the finals. That's a catastrophe enough.
Yeah, what the hell is going on there? Oh my god! I can't the Spurs. I'm whatever. They've won in the past, but I can only imagine how obnoxious Knicks fans will be if they win a championship.
Yeah, I think the only thing that will save them from being the most obnoxious is the fact that one, Philly's already done it, and two, I still think the Bills, if they ever win one, will be the worst thing to ever happen to the United States.
I just don't see that ever happening. But like, it still blows my mind that I mean, you guys have been doing a podcast all year about the Celtics. How the fuck are the Knicks the best team in basketball? How did that happen? How did a
Towns
Dolan
decided to
owned
get good
team,
defense.
but a team that Dolan owns, how are they the best team in basketball?
Mike Brown.
Oh, come on. Really?
I'm a big Mike Brown guy. I
Why?
genuinely I feel like he's been one of the most over-fired coaches in like
I agree
NBA
with that.
history because I don't think he was ever the problem in any
Oh, just because
situation.
LeBron doesn't like him and he's like, not it. It's his fault, not mine.
Well, the Cavs fired what? Not Doug Glad. That's a goon. David Blatt. That's the
David
guy's
Blatt,
name.
yeah.
David Blatt. When they were like in the middle of a 58-win season because he was like scared of LeBron, they fired him for that. Mike Brown, I think, is just genuinely a really good coach. Like
Yeah,
he
him
got the
getting
Kings
fired
to the
in
playoffs.
Sacramento was insanity.
He got the Kings to the playoffs.
That
Yeah.
doesn't happen.
No, it's not allowed to happen. That's probably why he got fired. He broke the rules. But they couldn't fire him after making the playoffs. They had to wait for them to stink again, which was, they're the Kings, so it was the next year, obviously.
But it's the Knicks. I mean, they got the games on TV and they got like the celebrity row, and it's all these people that are like, oh, what do they play here? Do they play basketball in this place? Like, it's completely clueless celebrities. I don't know what the fuck's going on.
Except for Timothy Chalamet, who is like maybe the like biggest ball knower of
Yeah.
Hollywood.
You should have some of them there.
Yeah.
Yeah, him and Ben Stiller are locked in, but besides that,
Yeah. Did you see the photo that Timothy Chalamet posted the other day of him like icing his knees, being like the playoffs are hard on everybody?
I love him.
He is hysterical. I do love Timothy Chalamet.
For the Knicks being the best team in basketball, I never thought it's like hell freezing over.
Yeah, no, you're 100% right. Now there's always a chance that they could blow it, but what they've won 2 straight in San Antonio, so like there's a strong chance that
Yeah, and like
Wemby
they
doesn't win a
like
single game.
showed up in San Antonio. Those were like 50-50 Knicks fans crowds at those games.
Yeah, I saw the video of the Deuce chant. I mean, granted, at the time the Knicks were up by like 15, so like of course the Spurs fans are going to be quiet, but like, yeah, the NBA Finals game that's like predominantly or like 50-50 to the visitor is crazy. That's got to feel like a home game for the Knicks too.
Jordan, starting deals is this just like a one and done for the Knicks, or all these guys are locked in long term?
I think all these guys are locked in long
Except
term,
for
but I
Mitchell
don't know.
Robinson.
Except for Mitchell Robinson's a free agent, yeah, but he'll probably return to the Knicks. I can't imagine any team appreciating him quite like the Knicks do.
He would be perfect on the Celtics is the thing. Like
he would be. He would be, but I have my heart set on Rob Williams coming back, so unfortunately I will not be given any of that woke nonsense, which is ironic to say about Mitchell Robinson because he is like not woke at all. But that's beside the point. But no, I mean they're all locked down. But the thing is, it's like I don't know. The NBA is so much parity nowadays. Like there hasn't been a repeat champ since the KD Warriors for a reason. And like I feel like every year we do this thing where the champs win this. Obviously they win the finals. Then they start the next year like 10-1, and everyone's like, "Oh my God, basketball's ruined. How is a team ever going to beat these guys?" And then they lose in the second round, like the Thunder did this year, the Celtics did last year.
The Thunder getting bounced. That's still I can't get over that one. I thought they had it all set.
Yeah, Chet Holmgren, man.
Yeah, he played scared.
Yeah. 4 points was 1 of 2 from the floor. Disgusting behavior from an all NBA level player. Anyway, this is a baseball pod. Any final thoughts before we wrap this up?
Yeah, that Hurricanes game last night.
Yeah,
Seriously,
that game was actually pretty sick.
Yeah.
the pregame intro for Las Vegas. That's next level there.
Yeah.
Deeply evil organization, though. It's like,
Yeah.
I hate watching them succeed.
It's that coach there, I don't know. The Bruins should get a guy like that.
Well, no, it's Tortorella now, right? Didn't they fire Butch Cassidy? Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, Torts is over there. Well, unfortunately, I mean, not unfortunately, Marco Sturm did a good job with this team, so I like the direction the Bruins are going in. Now that we've hit on every sport, we want to talk about we want to talk about the Patriots traded for
They
AJ
have
Brown.
AJ
real
Brown
quick?
now.
Jordan, why weren't you at the Drake May softball tournament? Aren't you a D-list celebrity? Can't you get in on that?
And D-list celebrity. I mean, yeah, they had Matt Rife there. Like, what is Matt Rife
Well,
doing
he lives in
there?
Rhode Island, so he just wanted to hang out with the players.
Yeah, and then they let Dave Portnoy be part of it. Just
Well, you got
disgusting
to
behavior.
win a home run derby somehow. You can't. Yeah, if you invite yourself,
Yeah, I saw that Drake May would have hit a walk-off home run, but because they hit so many homers, the rule they allowed an outfielder to play behind the fence. So they went banana ball essentially, where if anyone in the crowd catches it, it's an out.
Right.
And that's how the game ended. So he hit a walk-off home run, but somebody caught it on the other side of the fence, so therefore it was the final out of the game and they lost.
Well, the Bananas are a big draw, so whatever they do works.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then just the icing on the cake, they had the AJ Brown. I mean, now they get somebody to throw to, but they still don't have a left tackle, so I'm suspect.
Yeah, they have. I don't even remember the guy's name that they drafted. Lomu. Who I don't know. They have a bunch of interior offensive linemen in Lomu.
Okay.
So Drake May better get ready to learn how to throw left-handed so his blind side's actually protected this year.
Would be nice.
Would be nice. Would very much be nice. Although we did confirm today that Anthony Siegler's ambidextrous, just to bring it all back to baseball. I was very confused when I looked and saw that it said B for his hand for throwing. But yeah, he apparently throws 90 from the left side, so I don't know why he
First round pick in 2018 or something crazy.
Yeah.
By
He
the
have a walk and a double today.
Yeah.
He's already better than Caleb Durbin.
Well, hey now, come on now.
I've been on the Anthony Siegler train for several weeks now. But anyway, so if we've got nothing else to say, do we want to milk this to 2 hours? Do we want to draft a team real quick?
Three people that are still listening, I pity them.
Yeah, we're an hour 52 into this. Yeah, let's wrap this up. So that'll do it for this edition of the Pesky Report. Again, episode 583, presented by Beyond the Monster and TJ Stats. Promo code Pesky, 25% off your first month. Give us a follow on Instagram and Twitter at the Pesky Report on both. You can subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. Also, leave us a review. For Brian and Jack, I'm Jordan. Until next time, peace out and go Sox.
Like, this is called the Pesky Report. Like,